Oh, good morning, everyone. It's Lee Chapman here. Today we'll be having a conversation on how you can use some tips to keep your relationship together with your spouse so you don't become one of the many statistics of broken relationships, broken businesses, and a broken marriage. But before we get into that, we need to understand the different operating systems between men and women. First of all, women tend to use about 4,000 more words per day than men do. So just keep that in mind, and I'll explain a bit how that works a bit later on. Secondly, women tend to have sex with a partner when they feel loved. Men, on the other hand, feel loved when they have sex. Keep that in mind as well. We'll be talking about that a bit further on. Now let's look at how relationships break down. Statistically, most women are the ones that end relationships. Not all, but most, as a statistic. And the biggest gripe they have when they sit down with a counsellor is, my partner, my husband just stopped listening to me. We just stopped getting connected, and then it sort of snowballed from there. And then what typically happens, you found someone else that would listen to you, and then you become interested in that person, and then you end off breaking the relationship and go to the next person. And the same situation happens at the start. But what happens is you are physically and sexually attracted to someone, and then you go out on dates and you sit for hours and hours listening to each other. And when a guy listens to a female, she feels validated, and she feels listened to, and she feels loved, right? And everything is fantastic, and the relationships blossoms from there. But what tends to happen is things start to stagnate. Now, when a man typically comes home from his job, he's used all his words. He's had a gutful. He just wants to sit down on the couch and just chill. He doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to listen. He's had all of that crap all day. A woman, on the other hand, has still got 4,000 odd words to use. So she starts venting. He doesn't want to listen to it, and the silent treatment, and he goes, oh, whatever, honey, I'll just, whatever, tell someone who cares. And this is where the fracture starts. So as a man, you do not want to have this when you come home, but your wife needs to know that that's your operating system. You've used all your words. So rather than vent to each other as soon as you get home, when you've got kids doing homework, you're trying to make tea, you've had a gut full of work, you're both frazzled, is not the time to vent to each other. It's not the time for you to listen as a man, and it's not the time for you as a wife to vent. The time to do it is when the kids are in bed, you've finished tea, homework's done, and the house is a little bit calmer, is the time to sit down and say, okay, let's grab a couple of coffees and let's just sit down, and honey, I'm ready to listen to your day. Now, you've got to be, at this stage, men, listen, she doesn't want her challenges fixed. She just wants you to listen, right? The tips you can learn are, when she's telling you all this, you say, that sounds terrible. Tell me more. That sounds interesting. Tell me more. Oh, that sounds horrible. How did that make you feel? All of these questions will draw her out naturally to tell you about what's going on. She doesn't want you to fix it. She just wants you to listen. So listen. And then you can go on with the rest of your night. Right? If she wants something fixed, she will tell you she wants it fixed. She may not ask you to fix it, but she goes, oh, I need something fixed. I need something done. I'd really appreciate it if you did that for me. Then you go ahead and fix whatever she's asking you to fix, whether it be an emotional thing, it might be a mental thing, it might be a physical thing. But she will ask you. You don't have to put your fix-it hat on all the time. But ladies, you have to understand that also as men, we generally, straight off the bat, will give you advice or something because we want to fix things. So at your end of the table, you might want to say, honey, I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen to my problem. Oh, that's very good. And everything will be fine as long as you understand each other's operating system. From there, if you do that continually, you are continuously dating your wife. And that's where things keep cruising along. You don't get into the bad zone because you are continually listening to your wife. You're continuously building her up. You're continuously filling her love tank. and when she gets her love tank filled, she can fill yours. Now, I hope that's been a help for you today. Just remember, men, ask the questions. How did that make you feel? Tell me more about that. That sounds terrible. How did that make you feel? All these little puller questions will help her unload. You don't have to take it all on. You just have to listen. And if you do that, it's a tip on not becoming a marriage breakdown statistic. So I hope that's been a help today. Just remember that, ladies, as men, we do notice you. You are beautiful, even though we don't say it as often as we should. And remember that, men, that you have what it takes, and your responsibility to teach others never ends. Okay, guys, bye for now.